We labored over every single decision in this distillery, whether it was the minutia of how we treated the floor, or the decorations, or how we structured the seating. Those were very conscious decisions, and they were focused on giving and providing the most intricate, eccentric experience to our customer. Because if we're not focused on those little details as you walk in the front door, we're not focused on those little details when we make the product. When you are a second-time visitor and you bring people back, that is the most amazing compliment we can ever have. Last year for Tulip Time, one of the great things was we had this opportunity to provide a cocktail for last year's Tulip Time event. So our team got together and we came up with what we called Tulip Time, T-H-Y-M-E. We used thyme as an herb, as a botanical. So we were able to prepare our gin with some fresh lemon juice and really provide a cocktail that was so appropriate for the time of year that it was. It showcased the quality and the flavorings that you'll get from our gin. And then what the best part of that was we got to share that with almost 20 restaurants and bars in our community that carried the Tulip Time cocktail. So we had hundreds and hundreds of people enjoying this cocktail at many locations.
This year when they asked us if we wanted to do a Tulip Time cocktail again or be the spirit sponsor, we said yes, but we wanted to make sure that we did something beyond last year. So we came up with this idea to approach Windmill Island.
So we got to meet Elisa. Elisa is, of all the people that I've met in my whole life, she's in the top 10 most impactful people I've ever met in my life.
So we did. We sat down over a table over the distillery and started talking grains. That's one of my favorite subjects, obviously, being a miller. And we talked about what did they need, what could I produce, and would a partnership make sense? And then the end product could be something we could both be proud of, you know, a Dutch product made with grain ground in a windmill.
So what we did is we decided to make a traditional Genever, which Genever is the predecessor to gin. So it's going to have the same juniper notes that a gin has, but it's going to have some more floral botanicals in it. And it's also going to have a lot more of a malt-forward flavor to it. So it's kind of a cross between the maltiness that you find in a whiskey, but then the botanicals that you find in a traditional gin.
I was really impressed by the fact they wanted to not just have me grind the grain, but they wanted to come here and be a part of that. And to me, that really made it worth it because admittedly, it is a lot of work running a windmill and harnessing the power of the wind to turn these giant millstones to make a product.
I think what a lot of people in Holland don't know is that the windmill can actually mill grain.
All right, Brian, I'm gonna pull the brake.
Alrighty.
Okay.
It was life-changing to see this amazing piece of equipment that is decorative to those of us who live here. This machine functions, that actually produces milled grain, that produces flour, that produces things every single time it runs. So Genever is a traditional Dutch gin. The grain was grown right here in Holland, Michigan. We milled it with a functioning windmill, the only real functioning windmill outside of the Netherlands. We brought it here, and I'm so fortunate to be able to actually ferment that and distill it into the product that you'll receive as part of this year's Tulip Time cocktail.